You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. The Vice Chairman of the Cambodian Human Rights Committee, Chet Chealy, has stated that all entries in the draft law on the establishment of national human rights institutions mentioned by civil society organizations will be discussed, but they must be based on the 1993 Paris Principles. He made this statement during a consultation meeting of the Cambodian Human Rights Committee in collaboration with the Office of the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights on the draft law on the organization and functioning of the Cambodian National Human Rights Committee on Monday morning. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has the story.
Addressing the meeting, Vice Chairman Chet Chealy stated that the conclusion workshop was held to collect input from civil society organisations working on children's issues to ensure transparency and participation from all stakeholders. He stressed that all comments made to civil society organisations at the meeting will be considered for inclusion in the law, but also along with the lines of the 1993 Paris Principles. The Deputy Representative of United Nations Human Rights in Cambodia, Claudia de la Fuente, said that the establishment of the Cambodian National Human Rights Commission was important in promoting and protecting human rights in Cambodia, as well as for collaborating with the Cambodian Human Rights Institution. 17 organisations participated in Monday morning's constitution, including 10 associations working with the women and children, 2 under the OHCHR and 5 under the Cambodian Human Rights Community. The National Human Rights Institution, named the National Committee for Human Rights of Cambodia, is an independent, neutral, natural body working in the field of human rights. The draft law on organisations and functioning of the Cambodian National Human Rights Committee began drafting in 2019 between the Cambodian Human Rights Committee, the United Nations High Commission on Human Rights, and the Asian Pacific Forum based in Australia. Since July 2021, National Human Rights Committee launched, disseminated and consulted on the draft law of the public with stakeholders such as NGOs, civil society, union political parties and relevant ministries, institutions in order to gather views, opinions and other input in the draft law to ensure that this law is in line with the Paris Principles and the international minimum standards of the establishment of the National Human Rights Institution. Once the National Human Rights Body is established, it will go through an accreditation process recognised by the Global Alliance of the National Human Rights Institutions, one of the world's international recognised NHRIs. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.